Good evening, everyone. Stephen, first in again. I know you've got that bell icon pressed to be that quick. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. How you doing, Stephen? Good evening to everybody. Godzilla's in. Scottish Godzilla. How you doing? It's been pretty good, to be honest. I had some jobs to do this afternoon, but the weather's been excellent, so it's always nice to be out in the garden, isn't it? On a day like this. El Mundo de Este y Isaac. Oh my word, that's a long name to pronounce. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Stephen's good. That's good to hear. Wow, we got 6 in already. That's excellent. We'll get started in just a second. Hope you guys have been enjoying this game, those of you that picked this up. Dave's in. Good evening, Dave. How are you? What level are you now, Dave? I think I just hit level 3 in the career mode. So I've only started playing this career mode this morning. So we did the first look a couple of days back. Well, it was about a week before it released, wasn't it? Was it Friday? A week ago. That first look was the only career mode that I've done until today. And I've just been trying to get into it this morning, just off stream, just to get familiar with what needs to be done and how things work, because we'd done those island runs on the previous streams. I'd kind of forgot what we needed to do career wise, but and there is still one thing actually you guys can help me with, you guys that are playing this game. Just remind me what the skill points are for, because I can't remember what the skill points are for. Anne's in. How you doing, Anne? Nice to see you. If you are in the chat and you've not said hello, come and say hello. It's absolutely fine. What bus are we driving today, Godzilla says. It is... that's a good question, that, Godzilla. Right, let me remember my way around this menu. Current orders. No, that's not what we want, is it? Is it this one? It's this one. So this is the Man Lions Intercity R62. So this is the one that I got during the first look. So this was the very first bus that I got. What I did this morning, I bought a BB40 second hand. And I was running around in that for a little bit. But I've got to be honest with you, the sound of the engine was really loud. It was really getting on my nerves. And I had to switch back to this one just to give my ears a rest. It's got a very tinny engine sound, and I just couldn't stand it after a while. So I gave that. Well, it says not in use because there's not a job at the moment, but I gave that to my other driver. Let me try and remember where we look. So I've got this other driver, Azra Wolf, and we've got her doing airport runs. I've nobody else employed. So you can get mechanics, can't you? So you can repair things at your own workshop. But I took the small minibus in to an external repair this morning, and did it that way. So I'm assuming you don't. It might, if you employ a mechanic, I'm assuming the advantage to that is it could be a bit cheaper. But I found it easier just to take it to the external repair, to be honest. And you're on the big bus in the game. Is that you mean the Skyliner? Is that the Skyliner? Is that in the game, the Skyliner? It is for me because I've still got the same copy as I had pre-release. So all the buses are still available to me. I'm down in. I'm just blasting my ears out now. Let me just turn my headphones down a little bit. I'm down in Grand Terre at the minute. Down here, so you can see I've started discovering things on the map, which is pretty cool. I had a wander around here. There is actually... have you seen these lockups? If you're playing the game. There's one that I've opened there. I've got another one. And I do have the code for it as well. Where is it? I think we'll do this first. If we go up to Antigua first, before we start any jobs, there's a lockup there. And I'm going to show you that, just in case you've not seen it. Anne says, yes, it is. Oh, so you're driving the Skyliner. Wow, that's a big bus to get around. Every credit. That's pretty impressive. Stephen says, need the PS5 patch. Certainly do. Certainly do. The Xbox guys have had their patch, haven't they? Godzilla says, can you sell buses in the game? That's actually quite interesting, that, isn't it? Do you know, I had that thought before. I don't know the answer to it. But I thought to myself, I wonder if you can sell them, what do they sell for? Because you could potentially... You could buy a couple of really run-down second-hand buses and then get them repaired and then try and sell them on. I wonder if there's any profit in doing that. We'll have to look at that at some point. But this lock-up container, I want to show you one of these, just in case you've not discovered these yet. I'm just going to set a waypoint for that, and we'll have a drive up there, and we'll open it up, and I'll show you what's inside. And this is a tip that I gave you today, wasn't it, Dave? Because you were running out of money quite fast, and you're able to open a few of these, I think, and then buy yourself a new bus. Stephen says, yes, you can sell buses. That's good, thank you, Stephen. Right, I've just advanced time. I was actually on a night run, which just finished here, which is why I've got the lights on at the moment. So I'm going to turn those off, because we don't need those. I'm going to close the doors. I'm getting used to this menu, by the way. It's as I said the other night, the more that you use them, these controls, the easier it is. Right, so I've got the parking brake on as well, I think. Let me just take that off. Oh no, it's off. It's off. Okay, so let's go up to this container, and I just want to show you this. The other thing I want to do is refuel this bus. I've not put any fuel in it. I want to do that. Some of these are really tight, look at this. I still need plenty of practice. And if you can get the... Oh, see there, I've hit the barrier. If you can get the skyline around here, Anne, you deserve a medal. That's what I'm going to say to you there. Dave, you don't know what skill points are either. Yeah, I need to go back. I need to go back actually. Oh my god, I've done it again. Look at that lamppost. Right, this is not a good start, is it? Right, just ignore that. You didn't see that. I'm probably dragging it along now. Yeah, in my first look video where I did the beginning of the tutorial, I need to go back to that because it did explain what skill points were used for. And Dave's laughing at me now. El Mundo says the Scania City is in the game. Yeah, it is in the game, yeah. So we've still got those flashing curbs on PS5. If anybody's in that's playing on Xbox, I'd be interested to know now, is that all fixed? Are the curbs fixed, and is the pop-in scenery fixed as well for you guys? Because whatever you've got in the patch is coming for us on PS5, so I'm interested just to know about that. Hope everyone's weekend is going well. Thanks for coming in on a Saturday night. It's Saturday night for me anyway, it depends where you are in the world, but yeah, Thank you, appreciate it. And the other thing is, I hope you guys caught up with the channel update video that I posted yesterday. It's a very short one, less than a minute. Featuring me. I had to make sure that you'd all finish your cornflakes before I uploaded that. I didn't want to put anyone off the breakfast. So I hope you've all checked that one out. Just go and have a look. That just talks about what we're doing in May, because we've got we've got plenty of tourist bus, of course. It's the main thing we've got running just at the moment, but we've got SnowRunner, the upgraded SnowRunner, which is why I'm going back to it. That's the 31st of May. We're getting the next gen version. And then also 31st of May, which is a big one certainly for me and Dave, and I'm not sure who else in the chat plays Train Sim World, but Steam Trains are coming to Train Sim World. So if you've joined up with the channel to look at Tourist Bus, maybe you're a fan of other driving type simulators as well. And if you are, and you've not come across Train Sim World yet, have a look at some of the other stuff on the channel for Train Sim World. You'll probably enjoy it. And then we'll be running, on the 31st itself, we'll be running Steam Trains live when the DLC is released, because I'm a Dovetail Games ambassador, which means I'm fortunate enough for them to supply me with the key so that I can play the game on channel for you all. So have a look at some of those train sim videos there, and if you like that, then by all means it'd be great to see you for the train videos as well. GDHM United is here. I recognise you from the other night, and you were rushing home from work, I think, weren't you, GDHM, to play this? I remember. Welcome to the stream. Is your steering wheel stiff? Because on the Xbox, the G920 is you need to know if that's right. So I haven't got a steering wheel, GDHM, so I'm using the controller, and I'm on PS5 of course anyway, so we haven't got support for steering wheels quite yet. We're a patch behind you, but as you hear, GDHM, I don't know if you heard me ask the question about the pop-in scenery and the flashing curbs at the roundabout. Is that fixed now for Xbox? This near scenery that's popping. Let me know that, because I'm interested. I mean, it's a bit silly how we've not got the patch yet, to be honest, but I understand there's some problems at the Sony end, which is holding it up a little bit. So hopefully, very early next week we'll get this. So for those of you who just joined, we're going up to Antigua because there is a container there that I want to open. I just want to show you that, just in case you're running low on money. It's a quick tip. What do you think, you guys? What do you think about the sort of graphical side of the game? I think, apart from that pop-in that we've just mentioned, I think it's actually all right. I don't mind it at all. Just looking down the comments from the various videos, probably if I was to summarise, there's some complaints about the frame rate, textures. I think that was on Xbox though. There's a lot of complaints about textures on Xbox, and of course the popping scenery, which we know about. I just wondered what you guys thought of that. I think we have to bear in mind as well, it's just a very small studio, isn't it, that are developing this, and it's the price point as well. I think it's good enough for the price point, certainly. Dave says the popping doesn't bother me. Yeah, you see it less and less, don't you? I think when we first fired it up, it was the one thing that we noticed straight away. But the more you play it, the less you see it. But it still needs fixing though. It needs to be fixed. I don't know, Stephen and Godzilla. I've not tested it because, as I said, today is really the first time that I've played career mode apart from the first lot. But I'll, probably, tomorrow morning I'll have a look at it and see if I can work it out. It makes sense that you could sell buses because, I mean, you might get a fleet of buses and you might have a fleet of minibuses. You might not want to keep those. You might just, want to buy something bigger, so it would make sense to sell them. Although it wasn't covered specifically in the tutorial sections, was it? So right, so Antigua's on our left. Yeah, it's a good point though, Godzilla, because I was just thinking that today. Because you might buy a bus, equally you might buy a bus and you might hate it, As I said, that is it a BB90? I can't remember the number. Is it 90? Whatever that one is that I picked up this morning, I didn't mind driving it. It's just the noise. So I mean, you can assign it to another driver, or you hopefully can sell it and buy something else. But I don't know whether you can sell it for the same price you picked it up, or for more if you repair it, or whether or not you get a terrible sort of second-hand price for it and it's not worth selling it. It might be easier to give it to another driver. British Ace tried to sell buses yesterday but couldn't find out how to. Okay, I missed that. I'll maybe ping him later and see if he worked it out, because he and I ping backwards and forwards most days. He's also a Dovetail Games ambassador, of course, so he also drives trains. That looks like a McDonald's, doesn't it, there, without the branding? Look at the shape of the roof. Right, so we're nearly at Antigua. So, Stephen, you found some containers but need a code to unlock. Yeah, so we'll see that when we get there. Each one has got a clue with it. It depends how good you are at puzzles. The other thing I will tell you, it depends on how you want to do it. And I'm not looking at you, Dave. Is you can just Google it and somebody's listed all the codes for every container. So if you want to do it that way, I did one up in, I think it was near Corralejo, the first one, and it was something like, I like the grilled steak and I eat it 3 times a day. And I thought that one was fairly straightforward, because I'd passed a restaurant, as you're going through the streets and you pass like the gym, the restaurant, all that kind of thing. I'd just passed a restaurant, and Corralejo's not that big, so I went back down to the restaurant, and true enough, outside the restaurant was a board. It gave the price of a steak. So, it said, I eat steak 3 times a day, so I thought, right, it's either 3 times the cost. I'm just going to pull over here so I can go and find the container. It's either 3 times the cost, or it's the cost with a 3 before it or after it. And I won't tell you which one it was, but that's the clue if you do want to work them out. It's things like that, and I actually opened that one. Some of the others are a bit difficult. Dave said it would be good to find out how to sell houses that I didn't want to buy. I haven't quite worked out yet what that's about, Dave, and why you need a house. Maybe there's something coming up in the storyline that I don't know about yet. Because I'd bought the house in the first look, and I haven't been back there yet. Right, I need to work out how to get to this container now. Is it over here somewhere? Let's have a look. Right, it's here, isn't it? Is it behind this wall? There it is. So these containers are spread all around the map, and you can see there the little padlock on the mini map. Let's just flick back to this. It says locked stash. So as you're passing through towns, you'll see these, and you can also pick up new locations for these by opening a container. There's usually, we'll see when we get in there. So each one of these has got, as it says, a stash. The trick is just trying to get into it, but I already know the code for this one. You can't do it in this person either. You can't do it in third person. You have to do this. You don't get the prompt. If you like that, you don't get the prompt. Oh, no, you do get the prompt. There you go. It's just smaller. Okay, just ignore me. So there's a clue for each one. You can see for this one it says, I'm very bad at remembering numbers. You can only remember the phone number of my favourite delivery service where I get hamburgers with crispy fries for $6.50. So it kind of says somewhere in this town, it kind of suggests somewhere in this town there's a place where you can buy burgers and look for the phone number. So it's that kind of thing. So it encourages you to go off on foot and find it. But I know for this one, right, it's 98. Whoops, that was wrong. Wait a minute. 9876. And it opens. So this is all you need to do. And then there's a stash inside. So then the main thing is, and there's 25 of those, as you just saw. So these maps, there's always a map in there, which is a hint. Let me just change to this, it's easier. So pick that up, and it gives you coordinates for, you see it's there, it's added another one. It's added another one down in Lahores. So we can check that one out at some point. We don't need to do it now. And then if you look carefully around, there's a skill point, which is what I don't know what we're using those for. And then you want to make sure you don't miss any money, because usually there's money. There's another skill point. There'll be here we are. There's a wad of money. Look, so there's 1,000, 5,000, another 1,000, 5,000, 5,000, 1,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 2,500, 5,000, 5,000. I hope you're counting, because I'm not, and there's another 2,500. Now, you see all that money then that I just picked up? I mean, that's ridiculous. So these containers are well worth trying to work out. Or, as I said, if you want to cheat, just Google it. They're all in there. The PC guys have been playing this for years, so they've worked them all out. And that's it. There's nothing else. Just give it a thorough... I mean, you'd take the laptop, wouldn't you? You're going to take the laptop. If you're going to nick the guy's money, you're going to nick his laptop. You're going to flog that, aren't you? Anyway. So, Dave, you're a maths teacher. You can tell me how much money I got then. But it was a tidy amount. I mean, we're causing a massive traffic jam here. But I'll just creep behind this X5. Just have a quick look. run back to the bus, and then we'll pick up a job. Okay, she didn't see anything, so that's good. It's a furniture shop. Let me just jump back in and we'll set a job up. The bus is pretty dirty as well. I did take the small bus to be washed earlier, but this one needs doing, definitely. Let's jump back in. Christopher, how are you? Thanks for coming in, appreciate that. Jessica, I'm pretty good, how are you? Nice to see you again. Comfort says, do you know why I can't check in the passengers? The check-in window comes up. It won't let me cancel or accept. When you say check-in, is it those shuttle services, Comfort? I don't know what you mean. Maybe I've not come across that yet. Because I think there's a problem with the shuttle services, certainly on PS5. I think it freezes up. Christopher says the skill points are used to go to somewhere fast. Is that what I wondered if it was for that? So every time you do a fast travel, does it use a skill point? Is that what you mean? Dave says I probably made about 25k though. Yeah, it's worth. If there's what was there 25 containers. So it's probably worth picking them all up. James G Raptor, how you doing? 20, good to see you again. 20's left me a like. Good segue. Everyone give me the thumbs up. And I'm just wondering whether I can get out of this traffic jam, you know. I'm going to have to go down the pavement. Dave's not done a shuttle yet, they come on level 4. Yep, so Christopher says, yes, that's right. So skill points just literally will let us fast travel. Right, that's worth knowing. I think I've gathered a few of those. I can check those, can't I? So I'm level 3. I've got 13 skill points. And I've got 339,000. Which is pretty good. Dave's on level 5. Black Arrow, how are you? Good to see you again, mate. Free mode is good, although career mode, PS5 game, nobody shows up on your route. That's a bit... What? Nobody at all? No passengers at all? Seems a bit strange. Thanks for the like, Christopher. Appreciate it. Right. Let's have a look. Right, where's that? Oh, that's just showing me how to get to the lockup, isn't it? Right, what we'll do is, the first thing I want to do, let me just look back at the map. Where is the nearest petrol station? Because that's where I want to go. There's one at Pahora. There is one, that's probably the best one to go to, isn't it? I'll probably have to unselect that one first. Then put this one in. There we go. I want to put petrol in first, so I'm going to do that. I've got to work out now how to get the bus out. Oh, it's alright, I can reverse. That's good. Right, let's get the doors locked. That will help us. And we'll see if we can do this. Oh, look at them following me. They're determined to hit me up. Right, I think we're in business. Let's get rid of this traffic jam out of the middle of this little town. Let me just check where it wants me to go. Right, it wants me to... Right, I get it. It wants me to go around the back of here so I can be straight down to the fuel station. Confer says it's a service, thinks it's a bug. I don't know. Hope they release the patch soon. Are you on PS5, Confer? Sounds like you're on PS5. Now I've gone the wrong way as well, haven't I? That's fine. We'll. It changed the route for me. I'm sure it wanted me to turn left originally. Let's just go this way. I'm still thinking about Anne driving that Skyliner down these streets. Jessica says, this town really needs to fix the black hole issues, yeah. Yeah, so those black pavements are still with us as well, aren't they? Okay, yeah, let me out. Yeah, we've still got the black pavements which are being fixed. I'm assuming they're all looking nice and shiny now on the Xbox. I see, he can keep going. Why does he just keep going and then I can get out easily? I'm going to hit this stop sign. Oh no, I'm not going to. Right, okay. Right, first thing we'll do is that. The stop sign's going to go anyway, I think. No, we just managed it. There's something at least. Right, we're on the way to the fuel station. I'm honestly not that bad at this game normally. It's when I'm looking down at my iPad to read the chat. I've got the iPad just sort of like below face level and I keep having to look down at it to get the chat. That's my excuse. Yes, you're right, Comfy. Yeah, they've already got the patch on Xbox. And Sony are taking the royal time over it. That's correct. I do enjoy this, Jessica, yeah, I do. I think it's quite good. I think it's quite good for the price as well. I think we've all paid a bit more for games that have not turned out as good as this, or have as much playability as this. It's good fun. Stephen says, how do you check the fuel? I think there's a couple of ways, isn't there? Let me just bring this up. If I go to... Is it this one? Right, there is a way. Just let me remember. There's somewhere where you can check the fleet, isn't there? Where is it? It's not that one. In fact, you know what? I think you can even... You can see it there. It's about half... See it on the left? It's half full. You can do it that way, but there's a way in the... on the phone. In what I just brought up. There's somewhere there you can do it as well, Stephen. Oh, Jessica, you got the PC version. Excellent. So I'm assuming on the PC version there's no issues to speak of. Performance-wise, certainly. All fully patched. Oh, thanks, Comfort. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, we're nearly up to 700 subs. That's wild. Absolutely wild. Thank you to everybody that's just come on board recently. I appreciate it. There'll be plenty more of these as we progress up the career ladder. I think if you just think about the game itself, I think the fact that it's set on an island is also a really good idea. Because we talked about other driving games we've got, which, well, certainly the ones that I've played, a lot of them seem to be set in Germany, and that's probably because the companies are German that are developing them. But for this one to be set on an island makes a lot of sense for the type of journeys that you're doing, doesn't it? I mean, you could still have a tourist bus, but you could have tourists on the mainland. There's something about it being on an island, though, that's quite believable, you know. And this is the fuel station, so I'm going to wait for this guy to pass. I shouldn't have changed view there, actually, should I? Oh, this is quite tight as well. Maybe if I can get around there. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Let's put it in reverse. I don't want to hit anything in a fuel station. That could be very, very nasty, couldn't it? Right, let's stop the engine. So this is the refueling. So all we need to do is... so that's the other thing, Stephen. If you're not sure and you don't know how to work out the fuel, just pull into a fuel station. And if you stop the engine, this screen comes up and you can see there on the right-hand side how much fuel we've got. But I'm going to fill it up while I'm here anyway. Just keep your finger on X if you're on PlayStation. Dave says you're on level 4 and 5. Get on level 4 and 5. The AI is unforgiving. Got rammed in a 90 miles per hour because I was doing 70. Yeah, there is some. On this game, I call them locals. Is what I call them. And if you're not going the going rate, they will get right close behind you. So the AI is more realistic than you think from that perspective. Black Arrow says the large buses are really nice, lots of options, fun to drive, great interiors. The yellow double decker is to be removed. Here, have you got that in your build then, Black Arrow? That's interesting. I thought that was just in my pre-release copy. And if it is going to be removed, I should try it before it disappears, really, shouldn't I? Right, so I need to go to neutral before I can start the engine, of course. So that was that. We've got fuel on board. I want to take that out now. How do I unselect that? I can't unselect it. That's the hardware store. I don't want to go there. Maybe I have to be away from it to be able to select it. Let's have a look what jobs we've got. Where are we now? We're near Antigua, aren't we? So let's have a look. New orders. We've got an airport run. We've got Costa Calma to Gran Tarajal. The airport, that'll be a good one. Airport to Costa Calma. Look at that, it's worth 5,730. Yo, I'm going to take that one. So, yes, I will do it. And we will take this bus with us. And let's just have a look at the current orders. So, it is the 11th of July. At 11 o'clock. So I need to skip time, don't I? And then make my way down to the airport. So let's do that. Okay, press the wrong button. It's this one, isn't it? That should skip us to our next one. The engine of the... Oh, so I think that was telling me my other driver, has broken her engine. I think that's what that was just telling me. Okay, so we'll need to have a look at that then. If that's what she's done. So there's a repair job coming in for that one. Oh, just hit the barrier again. Just cannot get used to that now. I'm on the wrong side of the road as well, that won't help, will it? Oh my word, I'm having an absolute nightmare. Right, that's better. There's the airport just in front of us, so actually this is a good job, isn't it? What time was that job leaving? 11 AM. Right, so it's 10:34, so we're good. Haven't seen any traffic lights or Joe, that's a good point. Does this island have traffic lights though? That's an interesting... There's a lot of stop lines, isn't there? The AI seem to ignore the stop lines, but there's a lot of those. So is it all based on give way? I don't know. I suppose it's possible. Farah, how are you? Thanks for coming in again, mate. I appreciate it. How am I finding the game, and how's everyone finding the game? I think... I can't speak for everybody really, but I think it sounds like everyone's having fun with it. A couple of niggly issues. No patch for PS5. The wheel support is a bit of an issue for a lot of people. I think generally everybody's okay for it. I certainly am. I think it's great, to be honest. I could play these types of things all the time, you know. Oh, so it is still in Black Arrow, right? Okay, that's interesting. Right, which way am I going? I'm going this way. Oh, this is tight. Look at this. Wait, what about the headroom? Oh my word, what is going... Right, okay, let me look. Let me just go outside and check this. Dear me. Why has it told me to go down this one? Oh. And look at the road sign. Now, I think that means no buses. Yeah, look at the sat-nav. The sat-nav is telling me to go down here. Can't purchase... Richard, how you doing, Richard? Thanks for coming in, mate. Can't purchase any DLC on Xbox. Coming up with an error message. I've not heard that one. I'm going to reset. Oh, there we go. Now it's put me on the right path. Which isn't the path it's asking for. Look at the sat-nav. It's lying to me. I should know better though than to go down there. I should also pay attention to road signs, not blindly follow the sat-nav. That might help me. Do you know, I've been through the airport loads of times as well. I should know by now. The messages don't stay on longer. They need to be on longer for a longer time. Yeah, you're right, Dave. Yeah, it was hard to catch that one. Yeah, it seems to be based on give way. Or in the AI's case, do not give way. Right, let me look behind me. Right, there's nobody there, so I'm gonna risk it. Oh god, this is all... Look at how tight this is now. This is not going to end well. Oh, there we go. Prang. Straight in. I know you guys don't come on these streams to try and work out how best to drive, because you're not going to see it with me. There's no way you're going to see it on this stream. This is like Dukes of Hazzard driving school. Right, so we got off the curb now. Let's try this again. Next time I'm just going to take the very far route, where that bus is there on the right that you can see. That's generally where it sends you. Because I'm getting really stuck here. Come on. Come on. It's not going to go, is it? Oh, it's turning. Look at the back end. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Full throttle. The smoke next to the bus, that's the tyres probably. It's either the tyres or it's the engine. Come on. Oh my, there's crashes everywhere. I can hear it. Right. So, lesson of the night, don't follow the sat-nav when you get to the airport, because it's risky. I mean, look how narrow this is. Oh, we're not out of it yet. I hope nobody sticks their hand out the window. It's gonna have the fingers off. Breathe in, everybody. Oh, this is gonna give me a massive penalty once I get to the end. We've not even started the actual route yet. This is just getting down to the start. Yeah, sell the big buses and use mini buses, you're right. Right, let's wait for the barrier. It's pretty cool how those barriers go up. Oh, that's tight, that's tight. There we go, right, okay. Oh, I can breathe again now. There's a south road that curves around a snake several times. Is that at, I'm going to butcher the name, Esperino or Esperizzo or something like that. It begins with an E. I think I know what you mean. It snakes its way right down to the town, doesn't it? Farah says, how's he going to be driving a steam train? You're exactly right, Farah. This is why I'm telling you all to join me for Spirit of Steam when it releases. As a Dovetail ambassador, I'm meant to be able to show you guys how to drive a train the proper way. But you know with me by now, you'll get what you get. It's guaranteed to be entertaining, that's all I'm going to say to you. If I forget the matches that day, we might not even get the firebox lit. Right now, at this stage, I don't even know what you do in a steam train. I have never seen any kind of video or any kind of instructional thing on how real steam trains move, because you know that in Train Sim World it's going to operate like the real thing pretty much, and I haven't watched anything, so it's going to be quite an experience. So if you're around on the 31st, come and join me for that one. I'm not working, so I will be streaming that probably most of the day, I would say, if you're interested in having a look. It'd be great to see everyone anyway. I think it's meant to be for cause as well, Godzilla. I just couldn't work out why the sat-nav was trying to send me that way. Bit ridiculous, really. Dave says I'm definitely entertaining. Must be a natural. I'm not doing it on purpose. I just took the wrong road. If I'd have tried to plan that, I couldn't have done it any better, could I? Dear me. G Luke, how you doing? Welcome back. G Luke asks, are there DLCs? There should be, but I think Richard was saying on Xbox, struggling to buy any just now, and on PlayStation, I don't know if the DLC's there because I've got the pre-release edition. Therefore, all the DLCs included in this, I can't see in the store if there's anything that I can buy. So somebody who's playing on PlayStation will probably paste that in. Godzilla says big fan. Oh dear me. Well, you know, you're all here with me on a Saturday night, so I need to entertain you to make you stay with me for the duration. Right, so we've now picked up the passengers and we've actually started the job. So let's just see. We want to get paid on this one. This was a big one. Was it $5,000, this one? Which isn't bad, is it? It's nice how they've got all these static buses as well just here down at the airport. You know, just to fill in the space. It wouldn't be very nice if it was all just empty. I'm assuming that's a bug as well, because for ages, once the passengers have got on, you see there, they're all saying hello to each other. Stephen, you can't see any DLCs. Okay, yeah. Now that is something that they'll try and fix very quickly because they'll want you to buy them. Godzilla, what do I think of Bus Sim 21? So I haven't played Bus Sim 21 at all, Godzilla. But I know plenty of people in this chat have played it. I mentioned it the other night, so sorry to everybody that already heard that story. But played the first Bus Sim, didn't like the look of the Bus Sim 21, the cartoony aspect. I wasn't really that bothered, especially with the price as well. The price put me off a little bit. I think the price point of the first one was probably about right, because I did play that a lot and I got a lot of enjoyment out of that one. The other thing I want to do with this bus, and I might do it after this run, is book it in for its repairs, because I haven't done that yet. Not on this one, don't think. So I'll get that sorted just whilst I've got some money there in the bank. We may also take it through the washer as well. I don't know what difference that makes, taking it through the washer. I don't know if you can make more money by having the bus more presentable or anything like that. I'm not sure. I suppose it doesn't help driving a white bus on a dusty island. It's going to show every speck of muck, isn't it? So I don't know why these AI are just sat here like this. This is what I was seeing when I had the AI up to 100, although I was obviously seeing more of it They were just randomly stopping and sort of getting in the way. There was no reason for those two just to stop then. So it is still set to 75%, by the way. After the patch, I'll put it back up to 100 just in case anything was in the patch that fixes what I was experiencing just before. But Big D, how are you? Welcome into the stream. What's the patch that's due? Is it just the patch because the game's got bugs? Can't do airport tours, checking people's phones, safety on the bus keeps freezing. Has anybody else had the issues? Anybody had those issues that Big D is having? The patch though, Big D, is a bug fix patch. Yes, there's no functionality being added. No, no additional items. Steering wheel support comes in with it. That's obviously not a bug. Well, I guess it is a bug, isn't it? It should have been enabled from the beginning. But yeah, it's just bug fixes. Things like these pavements shouldn't be black. If they're not black though, these pavements, what do they actually look like now on Xbox? Do they? I assume they're a darker shade than the actual road itself, in some way. Or else it'll all blend in, won't it? See, I like these nice quiet towns, look. These ones are better. Nobody's trying to have a go at you. And put it in neutral and I'll put the handbrake on. Right, let's get. See, I'm picking up this control system now. Just takes time, doesn't it? Should also. Oh no, is that already on? Yeah, 315 is the route that we're doing. What about the aircon? The aircon should really make sure that's on. That's on. 20 degrees. Grey sidewalks. There's a fenced-in zoo in the south and a water park on the islands. Yeah, the aqua park we've seen a few times, haven't we? I don't recall seeing the zoo, I don't think. Maybe I've missed that. Dave likes the black pavements. They're a bit too black, aren't they? If that's possible, Dave. You know what I mean? They're a bit... The contrast of the path, or the pavement, next to the road looks a bit... It does look a bit odd. It's too black. And I think in a country this hot, if that's meant to be tar, there's going to be a lot of people with sticky feet, I think. So that's the doors closed. Put it in drive. Take the parking brake off. Right, on to the next one. Got 28 in at the moment. Thanks everyone for coming in on a Saturday night. I appreciate that. But just after I said this is a quiet town, look at this traffic jam. As long as they're going the opposite way to me, I don't really care, to be honest. See, the AI stopped again, look. That's very odd. But But one thing I do like actually about this career mode is that you can just pick up these different jobs. It's kind of like it's like a route randomizer, isn't it? You can, you know, go into free play as we were doing the other night and set up places you actually want to go to if you fancy doing a long run. Just jump into career mode and it'll pick one for you and you get paid. So, you know, you finish this one, go back to the list, see what there is available. I quite like the concept of it, to be honest. And from an immersion perspective, you know, it does feel like I've picked people up at the bus stop. Now I'm taking them to where they want to go. And that might sound a bit simplistic, but simplistic is the best thing, isn't it? If it does what it's meant to do. It's not got very good acceleration, this bus, I'll tell you that much. So I've got my finger right down now on the throttle. It's very slow up this hill. Yes, I don't think the pavements are immersion breaking for me, Dave, either, to be honest. But I think they just stand out a little bit too much. It doesn't spoil it for me though, but I'd like to see them fixed, certainly. So the AI, so Dave, the AI, you think they stop to let you out, but you just carry on. You've seen me trying to do that, and I usually get sideswiped. Maybe I've just got bad luck. But you know what I mean? You wouldn't expect real vehicles to stop in the middle of the roundabout, would you? They've got the right of way. If they're on the roundabout, you know, in real life, if they're on the roundabout, they've got the right of way, haven't they? It's us coming onto the roundabout. And it just seems a bit odd to me. Then again, you know, I haven't driven in Fuerteventura, so like the traffic light thing we talked about earlier, it might be a thing. I honestly don't know. Gordon's here. Welcome in, Gordon. Nice to see you. Does anyone have issues with the first accommodation? It's pitch black. It is pitch black. Yeah, I couldn't find my way around, and it's really interesting. If you've played Train Sim World and you're walking around on foot, you can press D-pad right, and it switches a torch on. And just force of habit, I was walking around the inside of that accommodation. I tried putting the torch on. Of course, there isn't one. And I brought something else up. I don't know what I did, but I brought something else up. Isn't it funny how your brain trains you to do a certain thing? You know you're in a game and you think there's a torch with right D-pad. Crazy. But you're right, it's pitch black in there. Yeah, I kind of came out of that accommodation as well. I asked you this, Dave, didn't I? I came out of that accommodation thinking it was going to give me another tutorial type lesson, and it didn't. And I thought, right, okay, what do I do next? I wasn't quite sure, and then I just decided to go and get the first job, and it turns out I was correct. But it didn't kind of it didn't kind of sort of say to me, this is the end of all the tutorial. You know, carry on. Which would have been nice. Yeah, no light switch, Gordon. Yeah. Plenty of instructions on how to get furniture and upgrade different bits and pieces, but no actual light switch. Plus, why there was a window at either end? Why is it so dark in there anyway? Because it wasn't nighttime, you know, in the tutorial, it wasn't nighttime, so it should be pretty light in there. The passengers are still saying hello. So I hope they remove that as part of the patch. Big D says, anyone been down to Confetti Dirt Road yet? In the bus, it's a nightmare. Yeah, we've done that on stream a couple of times as well. Big D, although only in the minibus. So we were lucky. We also took a little trip to the right as you're coming out of Confetti, right at the end of the dirt road, I think it is, down to the lighthouse. You can take another dirt road down to the lighthouse and get out and have a look around. We did that on one of the earlier streams. Wow, I took that one a bit wide. Right, so there's the AI again, sat on the roundabout. So I'm taking your advice, Dave. And I ain't stopping for anyone. Oh, look at this guy in the X5. He just sat there. That was close. I had to slam the brakes on. Oh, so Gordon, you went off trying to, follow the instructions to get furniture and things like that for the house. We were saying earlier, we don't really understand the point of the house stuff. If we think about on the road, purely because we've been playing that on the channel, you drive for a certain number of hours, you've got to take a rest for a number of hours. There's nothing like that in this game. Not that I've seen. So, you don't do a few jobs and then it says, right, you've got to go back to your house and you've got to sleep. Unless I've not got to that yet. So then I would understand why we need to buy accommodation. It makes sense then, but I haven't seen that in this. Although, as I said earlier, I have only been playing career mode really just from today. From this morning. Played it a couple of hours this morning. So this is the bus stop where we actually started tonight's stream, if you remember, before we went off to the container. So let's get the doors up for these guys. Tall boy, good afternoon. Oh, from New York City, wow. How's the weather in New York? Probably like ours, I imagine, quite warm. Good to see you in the stream, thanks for coming in. Dave says, could do with asking someone from Tourists to come on your stream so we can ask questions. Yeah, it would be good actually just to get somebody just in the chat. The way I'm playing it at the moment, so I'm not running the PS5 through a capture card or anything. I'm literally streaming direct from the PS5, so for me to be able to talk to somebody, I probably would need them in a PlayStation party or something similar to that. For them to actually speak, if you know what I mean. But certainly we could see if we can get... I can ask on the Discord, the official Discord, see if we can get anybody in. I can't promise it, but we'll try. I know British Ace has been doing that, hasn't he? He's had TML Beaver in there a couple of times. So here's another quite tight bend. I hit these barriers. Someone's kindly stood them back up again. Look, all right, they're waiting for me. Right, come on, here we go. We can do this. Watch the barriers. Watch the... Oh, look at that. I'm going to hit the barriers. No, I'm going to hit the car. Which one? The car. One of them had to, didn't they? Oh, come on, right. You know when we get the summary screen at the end? Oh, I've hit the barriers as well now. I might as well give up on this. We'll get the summary at the end and it's going to look terrible. Seriously though, how are you meant to do this properly? Because I've tried I've even tried waiting for the AI to clear, but they don't properly clear. So, you know, there's very rarely a gap where you can sort of swing out into the opposite side of the road to do it. It's fine. Dave's laughing at me again. We haven't seen your stream yet, Dave. When's yours? We can have a look at yours. I want to. Oh my word! Remind me not to come down to Gran Tarajal again, will you? It's not my kind of town, I don't think. I'm sure you got perfect driving, Dave. Gordon says he'd like the radio to work. Does it work in any bus? I don't know, actually. Don't know, Gordon. I've got all, because of YouTube, I've got all the music switched off at the moment. All the title music, etc, etc, because YouTube doesn't like it. Starts throwing a hissy fit. Oh, it's raining, Tallboy, in New York. Got you. Is it humid though? Remember once when I was in New York, it was really, really humid. And I'm talking about, we were right in the centre. We walked it from Times Square all the way down to, we were actually going down to the Statue of Liberty. We walked it, you know, I can't remember what the name of the road is, but there's a straight road that goes all the way down. They're all straight roads, aren't they, in New York City? And the humidity was so bad, we had to keep diving into shops just to top up on the aircon. It was that hot. Nice though, nice place. Quite like New York. Yeah, it is mad, Dave. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. As I say, that particular bend there in Gran Tarajal, I've tried that a few different ways. I suppose what I could do is, instead of trying to turn right, I could carry straight on instead, and see if it's any easier. Because although the sat nav is pointing you one way, all it does, if you try to go a different way, it just alters the path for you. So I could try and go straight on and sort of curve my way around rather than trying to take a sharp right. Because every single time I try it, something bad happens. Godzilla didn't see anything, that's what I like to hear. Dave, you need to graduate from a minibus eventually, mate. I don't know actually, can you still make the same amount of money if you run a route with a minibus versus if you run it with a bigger bus? Because obviously you can get more passengers on. You would think you'd get more revenue for driving the bigger buses. I don't know though. Black Arrow says in real life I've seen when cars have to move back for buses or tractor trailers. Yeah, if the streets are this narrow, I can imagine that. Yeah. Tallboy's got this for Series X. The only real issue is the massive frame drops. That's interesting. Around Costa Calma on the highway in the southern part of the island. I wonder why it's so bad down in the south. Everybody on these streams knows that Costa Calma is my favourite town name in this game. And Tallboy says it's very humid. Yeah. Dave says it's got dynamic weather in the game. Yeah, I saw that actually before. I was driving this morning and it switched to raining. It was like this, it switched to raining. The only thing, as we pointed out in one of the live streams, is that the rain wasn't hitting the front windscreen. It was really raining but not hitting the front windscreen, so they're going to need to fix that too. Right. See, I love this. Look at that. Look at that road snaking its way through the mountains. It's great. So you're getting 5 and 6k runs now, Dave. Yeah, as you saw at the beginning of this one, I like to pick out the high revenue ones. They tend to be the longer runs as well, don't they? Which, you know, I always like a long run, whether it's playing this or on the road or Train Sim World. Always like a long run. And that's why I enjoyed those other streams we did where we went from one end of the island to the other. Quite like doing those. You can tell on these roundabouts I pretty much ignore all the road markings. When we're on the roundabout, we're in charge. Tallboy says Costa Calma is beautiful, but with the frame drop, really can't go to that area often. It feels like watching a slideshow when I'm down there. That's how bad it is. Is it really that bad? Oh wow. So I'm on PS5, of course. We've been down there a few times as part of the live streams. I haven't seen that. I wonder. Did you play it, Tallboy? Did you play it before the patch, and was it any different before the patch? Did the patch introduce that? I don't know on Xbox. Did the patch come out the same time as the main game? You may not have had a choice. Oh, I've hit something else now. Because certainly I haven't seen anything on PS5 to make it laggy down there. So if that's something that came in with the patch, then obviously that's something we don't want to be introduced when the patch does finally drop. Right, let me get the handbrake on. Some of these stops, of course, you don't need to put the handbrake on because it's dead flat. You can get away with not doing it. Dave says he likes the night runs as well. Very scary. Yeah, the lights are not very good, are they? Certainly not in this bus. And, you know, sort of road etiquette tells me not to put the high beams on when there's oncoming traffic. So the standard lights are not great. Tallboy says hopefully TML will sort that out because it's a great game overall, in my opinion. It is, Tallboy. It is, in my opinion, too. And a few of us tonight in the chat as well are enjoying it. Drew's in. Welcome to the channel, Drew. Nice to see you. Drew says, Farming Sim is the only simulator game I played. Do you think I would like this game? Oh, that's a very subjective sort of thing, isn't it? I don't... well, it's a simulator, isn't it? So I think it's probably totally different to Farming Sim. Different activities, etc., etc. If you like games that are relaxing, and I know Farming Sim's quite relaxing, and games that are, you know, slower paced, then you'll probably enjoy this one. And also, I think just the price point, you could maybe try it at that price point. You know, watch a few of the streams and go back and have a look at some of the videos that I've done on the channel, and see if you can make your mind up. I think they've hit the nail on the head with this one. I hope they bring out the other sims that they've currently got on PC, if this one does very well. You see there, I can swing out. And the AI waited for me. Bit busy down this end. So you think it's an Xbox only issue then, Tallboy? Yeah, Black Arrow, there's no need to put the wipers on even, is there? There's nothing to wipe away at the moment, rain-wise. This is a nice windy part of the map. The only thing about playing on a controller is it's sometimes a bit tricky to brake on a bend while still steering, because your brake and your steering thumbstick are on the same side. There's a balancing act, isn't there, between, you know, over braking whilst you're concentrating on the steering, if that makes sense. So sometimes you can oversteer. Some of these bends as well, there's a lot of bends, isn't there, that just happen to be at the top of a hill. So you're trying to make it up the top of the hill, and then suddenly you have to turn at the same time quite sharply in some cases. A few times, you've seen it on the stream a couple of times, there's a few times where I've hit the barrier in that kind of scenario. Right, let's get the doors open. Well, a quick look at the map actually. So we're in La Lajita, and we need to come down to La Pared, I think will be next. And then Costa Calma, so we'll see, Tallboy, when we get down here. You can tell me how it compares to what you're seeing on the Xbox. Yeah, the bus is one of those ones that I'd like to see. Is it early access on PC at the moment, the bus? I think it is. Yeah, Dave, it does reset you, yeah. The other thing that's a bit of a problem as well, when it resets you, sometimes it resets you facing the opposite side of the road, which is, you've then got to start reversing and getting back onto the proper side of the road, which is a bit of a pain. I didn't need to put that on, did I? I didn't have the parking brake on. Right, let's get underway. La Parade, I think, is the next one. Yeah, the bus is early access. Yeah, I thought so. I did see a little stream on that. I think this week actually I was watching it. I only caught 5 or 10 minutes, but it looked pretty good. I noticed they must have a lot of licensed things in that. I saw McDonald's was even in there. It's unusual to see real branding in a game, isn't it? They must have got some special permission to do that, or McDonald's paid them. One of the two. And I mean the real McDonald's, not the fake one that we passed on this island earlier on when I said that the shape of the building reminded me of a McDonald's. This is the full McDonald's with the big M on the outside. Thanks everyone for coming in though. Probably finish this run and then I want to just have a look at repairing the vehicle. And then we might call it a night after that. How long have I been streaming now? Can't tell just from where I am. Good question, Tallboy. Can you sell your house in the game? I think, Dave, you're asking that one as well earlier on. I don't know the answer to that one, but we were talking about right now they seem a little bit pointless unless there's something we've not come across yet where you particularly need a house. So there's probably quite a bit of money tied up. And you need to buy one, don't you, as part of the tutorial? You don't have a choice. So they're already taking money off you from the beginning. 90 minutes. Thanks, Black Arrow. So we're coming off here for La Parade, then Costa Calma, I think, after that. This actually has been a good route. It's taken us quite a while, hasn't it, to run round this. In fact, we got the return journey to do. So that being the case, we might not have time to do the repairs. Let's see how long it takes. Always seems faster going back, doesn't it? That guy there was using Dave's modus operandi, not stopping at the roundabout. Right, so let's open these. Have a quick look outside. We've not done that for a while. It does look dirty, this bus. I think that's everybody on board, so we'll get the doors closed. Here we go. Doing this outside of the bus isn't any easier at all. because you can't see the front end. You have no idea what is in front of you. Just found a steakhouse. That's better. That's how you should take the corners. Right, on to Costa Calma, which isn't that far. It's just at the bottom here, isn't it? Yeah, I think we've got to do a return journey. That's correct. Bit juddery outside, isn't it? On occasion. Fine from the inside. Oh, so Tallboy says Pered is another town where the same issue occurs. Okay, so it must be a general issue down just around this end of town then, this end of the map. Hey Venom, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Venom says, how's the game? Not sure if you should buy it. These things that you can see. I don't know what console you're on, Venom. I don't know if you're on Xbox. Right, I've missed the roundabout there, haven't I? Right, there we go. That's better. No, you didn't see that. From what Tallboy's saying, if you're on Xbox, there's some issues down this end. PlayStation, there's just the things you can see, just a couple of visual glitches. I think there's a few problems with the shuttle services, which I haven't got to yet. I've not unlocked those yet. But generally, for the price point, I think it's pretty good. If you like simulation games, Venom, I would say. That's the other thing, of course. If this is a type of thing you can see yourself playing, you know, if you played any of the bus simulators or anything like that, then you'll like it. I think I took a wrong turn there, did I? Yeah, because our bus stop is there on the other side, so I'll just nip around the back. So the AI traffic's pretty low down this end, which is good for us getting around these bends. I did crunch something then, but I wasn't sure what. One lonely person just waiting. Right, let's get him on board. Anthony, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Does this have steering wheel support? It does for Xbox. PlayStation is in, but it's not enabled yet until the next patch. Just as Black Arrow says there, yeah. And Venom, you're on PS5. Okay, so yeah, it will be exactly the same as this then. Right, so we're on the return journey. Let's do this, then we'll wrap up. We'll take it back. I'm sure this won't take us as long. that was a pretty decent run down to Costa Calma. A lot of faster roads down this end of the map as well, isn't there? Just like this one, 110 kilometers per hour. That is true, Tallboy, if you use the car, yeah. So you've got the Range Rover, haven't you, back at base that you can tour about in. If you just want to not take any routes and just do the exploring part. Bit wide again on this roundabout. Crunch. So what do you guys reckon? How many crashes is it going to register on the end screen? Gordon, you bought the first minibus, it's brilliant. Cool. So back at La Parade again. And I need to turn here actually. I missed that. Dear me, that was the back of the bus. If this guy gets out of the way, there we go. Yeah, so this is why I was saying in the last stream, you might want to start with, and now this guy stood right in the bus stop, sorry mate, and there we go. You might want to start with the minibus to begin with, but I still think the minibus isn't going to train you to get used to a bus this level, is it? You're still going to have the same learning curve, so, you know, maybe you should jump in with a bigger bus. Right, the rain has started, you see, just out of nowhere, but as we said, nothing on the windscreen, which is pretty odd, but carry on. Well, there's your dynamic weather. Yeah, definitely Black Arrow, yeah, they deserve a medal, don't they? It is difficult. It doesn't seem to get any easier though, some are tighter than others. There needs to be a sort of training area. You should, you know, they should have added another module where you could take a driving test with different size buses. Saying that though, that might be frustrating if you can't progress to a different bus until you pass a test. That might be a little bit frustrating. Look how the pavement, the road has changed colour. I'm assuming that's meant to be the rain effect, but it's like a bluey grey, isn't it? So that must be the idea. That must be their idea of the rain effect, I think. Yeah, it's just a pity about that windscreen, to be honest. This lane on the right, is this the bus lane? Or is that like the hard shoulder? Not quite sure. It's a solid line, that, isn't it? Which suggests don't cross it. I wonder if that's just the safety lane. Must be the hard shoulder. Oh, that's interesting then, tall boy. So there is rain on the windscreen. There's a guy squeezing up the side of me. There is rain on the windscreen in the Xbox version. I wonder if that's part of the patch then. Hopefully then we'll get to see that soon, because yeah, that is a bit of an immersion breaker, isn't it? This is La Lajita. Oh, another tight one, look. Right, that's not going to work, so I'm going to need to go back. See how the weather went brighter as well, just all of a sudden. The sun came out, so I don't know if that means the rain is stopping. See, that guy moved forward then. He could have stayed there. I could have got round easily. Squeeze past him. We must be on at least 100 crashes by now. It's got to be. Right, let's get these open. Oh, tall boy, if you go into, which one is it? Yeah, so if you go into the driving menu, where are the windscreen? Right, no, that's the sun blinds, isn't it? There's the wipers. Those are wipers. Various speeds. Or you can turn them off. So yeah, you'll definitely need those if it's working now on Xbox, the rain. Yeah, you just want to gloat, Dave, and have a laugh, don't you? I don't think the score is going to be very good. As long as they give me the money, the XP is a different thing. traffic's building up. Come on. There we go. Oh, in the car, you mean, Tallboy, not in the bus. There's a speed camera, look, on the right. Just saw that. That's the first actual one I've seen. You showed me pictures of that, Dave, but I've not seen one in game. There is one. Yeah, in the car, I can't remember, Tallboy. I'd need to look at that. Maybe they just don't. It doesn't have them after all. When you were getting rammed, Dave, it didn't. Oh, God, I've done it again. It didn't count as a crash. Yeah, maybe it has to be a certain type of impact, or maybe AI collisions. I don't know. Some type of collisions may not count. This is a very nice area of the map. I think I said that when we were on the way, the other direction. And here's our old favourite, Terre. There we go. Another crash into the barrier. It's a good job there are repair shops on this island. That's all I can say. If that guy can let me round, we'll be fine. The door's open. Tallboy says, kinda wish they just put a dot like in Bus Simulator. You can just click a button in the bus without having to constantly open the menu to open the doors. Yeah, that's why I put that little video out, Tallboy, showing how to use that controls menu, because I know a lot of people that are used to bus sim will probably just be clicking buttons. It did seem a little bit confusing to me when I first started using it. It's starting to become second nature now, though, using that menu. Just depends how much you use it, I think. Dave says, not much left in this town to ruin. I'm surprised the bus has still got the wheels on, to be honest. Venom says, how much longevity do you think the game has? Well, they've already said that the map is the map. There's nothing going to be added to the map. There's no new islands or anything else being added. What you see as far as the map goes is what you get. So that's one thing. Buses, you can probably look to the PC version, which has been out for 3 or 4 years. You can probably look there to see, as far as bus DLC goes, what's coming. But I think all the DLC that's available for the PC version will be available here. Some of it actually comes as part of the standard game, which the PC players had to pay for. So we actually get some additional things in here that they had to pay for. So I think between what there is here now and the bus DLCs that are going to be available, that's going to be it. So I can see myself playing this for a big chunk of time, and then, as I did with the original bus sim, it's probably something I'll dip into maybe once a week then, and you know. But I'm talking way ahead though. I played bus sim, the original bus sim, pretty much constantly, and that's why I think that once this one is out, they'll look at how successful this one has been and then decide if to bring in any other titles to console as well. So don't forget, this is costing, well, over here in the UK it's £25. So depends how much longevity you expect out of a game of that price as well, is the other thing. I guess if you play Call of Duty or anything like that, Call of Duty lasts for 12 months, or FIFA lasts for 12 months, doesn't it? You pay double that, if not a bit more, and they're always pushing you to buy the new version the year after. So, I think it'll be okay. To be honest, I think you'll probably enjoy it for some time to come. Hello, Mike. How are you? Thanks for coming in. No, Tallboy, they're not showing yet. I think we've probably got that long left, have we? Gran Tarajal, we're gonna do some more crunching around Gran Tarajal first before we go anywhere else, that's for certain. And that will be our next stop. Are the AI forgiving on this, or are they all drunk? Mike says. They're definitely not forgiving. No, they're definitely not. I don't know if they're drunk or not. It's kind of a bit strange. It's like they have been drunk and now they've got hangovers. So this time in Gran Tarajal, I'm going to experiment and I'm going to go a different way than the sat-nav tells me, to see if there's any less crunching. Just after we go to this stop is where we have the trouble bend, the trouble corner I should say. Oh, in fact we're not stopping at that one this time because we're going the other way, so right, okay, I'm gonna have to go around. So I'm not going up there, and for once, wouldn't you know it, there's no way either. This actually is just as bad, isn't it? So don't stop, keep going, keep going. There you go, very unforgiving. He's forcing me to go through now. And see, I've gone past him and he's still not moving. Right, there's going to be a crunch, we can't avoid it. There's going to be a crunch. I've beached it, I'm just going to reset rather than do the reversing thing. Right, so we've got to go back around. See, this is what I mean. It puts you in the opposite direction sometimes when you reset. Any crashing noises you can hear, just ignore it. Oh, come on, but where did that guy come from? He must have hit me then, because he wasn't even there. Right, not to worry. We're going to get out of this town. Once we pick up this young lady. Oh, the AI is bad as on the road, Mike says. Yeah. Although on the road did get a little bit better, didn't it? So we're going up to the airport, which is there on the right hand side. That's where we're headed. Hello Ferris, thanks for coming in. Steering wheel is working for Xbox. PlayStation steering wheel will be enabled with the first patch. That's the plan. I think it's certain steering wheels, so isn't it? Logitech, Fanatec, Thrustmaster are the ones that they mentioned specifically. Hello Amor, welcome back. Do you mean you have bought the game, Amor? Or you're going to buy the game? Yeah, it's fine if you don't speak English. It's good to see you in the chat. Tallboy says, what's my favourite bus in the game? Yours is the MAN Lions Intercity 62. Joe, I don't know yet, Tallboy. I haven't driven them enough yet to sort of decide. I've obviously spent a lot of time in the minibus, which is the fake Mercedes-Benz minibus. The MB one, which I think is a DLC if I remember correctly, but I've got it in this pre-release copy. I do quite like that one, but I need to drive the others a bit more to probably tell you that, I would say. Yeah, I think it is going to be a DLC. Amar. So I can see the signs for Puerto del Rosario, which is where the airport is. So we get nearer. You see the scenery just pop in then, it's as if the tile changed and loaded in, and suddenly we had a lot of scenery just pop up just in the foreground, so be glad to see that go when we get the patch. We are motoring on this bit, aren't we? Doing 80 seems fast. That was a close one. Yeah, the steering is sometimes a bit slow to react. I think you can change the sensitivity on that. Maybe I'll have a look at that. Probably my speed didn't help on that bend. We've got pink Audi TT there. It's a strange choice. Have you been, Tallboy says, have you been to the caves that are in the game? Surprised they have caves. They look beautiful. There's one cave that has crystals in it. Oh, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look out for that. Tallboy, I wasn't aware of that one. Black Arrow says 6:30 AM and about 19:30 hours. That's me trying to read the chat, going sideways there. Are good times to see the sunrise and the sunset. Right. Yeah. I wonder if that changes with the season as well, whether that gets earlier, later, etc. This is a Matt's car, yeah. I was thinking that in the back of my mind, yeah. Matt from Train Sim World who likes pink, yeah. Could be his, yeah. So we're not far away right now. Be interested to know as well if I've been caught speeding. I haven't done that much speed, but normally I get to the end of a run and I've had a speeding penalty. I haven't got a clue where it actually was. I know it flashes up, doesn't it? But it must be quick when it does it. Right, let's get these guys on. Stop us rolling. Ferris says, do you know when the patch comes out? We don't know, Ferris, no. And the developers don't know. So, you know, they were saying that it just depends when Sony have certified it. But usually, it doesn't take that long for the patch to come out. I wonder if they found something wrong with it, perhaps. Maybe that's why. They're always called a day one patch, aren't they? But they're not always guaranteed to come out on day one. I think they aim to do that, but the good thing is that I haven't found anything game breaking. That you know, because that's obviously what they don't want. They don't want to release a game and have something that completely breaks it on day one when you've just paid money. I mean, that would be terrible. I presume there's some kind of if there was something like that, there's some kind of hotfix, sort of fast path way to patch the game. if something's game breaking. What was the famous game they took off the store because it was terrible? Was it Cyberpunk? Don't think that happens very often, does it, where a game gets withdrawn? And I think they withdrew it for quite a while, didn't they, because it was unplayable. I don't have Cyberpunk, but I remember other people mentioning that it was in a bit of a state. I haven't missed a stop, have I? Because I see an orange line over to my left as we came onto that roundabout. I think we'll find out at the end. So I think the next stop actually will be the airport. And I'm not going to make the same mistake I did at the beginning by taking the lane that the sat-nav is suggesting. There's the airport just ahead. Alright, Ferris, you've got a steering wheel, so you're waiting for the patch. Yep, fair enough. So what bugs have you got, Game Tech Pro? There's nothing stopping you playing it though, is there? Well, apart from wheel support, of course. If you've got a wheel, I guess you want to you want to use it straight away. I think they will. Yeah, I think they will fix the issues. I've been going on the studio's Discord most days, just watching the chat. Just keep an eye on what's going on. I can find out, so I can tell you guys what's going on, really. And they've been quite responsive in there. Yeah, see, look, there's an orange line above me. The one I'm following's there, but look up there. I wonder if I missed a stop. Let me just look at the... I think I missed a stop. Missed a stop there, didn't I? I wonder if it lets you continue to the end and you just take a penalty. Yeah, Godzilla, I've gone down the bus line this time. I'm not messing about. This is what we were meant to do. There's even a bus lane right here, isn't there, as well? Bus and taxi. I don't understand why the sat-nav put me where it put me right at the start. Bit maddening that I missed that stop. I just did not see that at all. So those passengers have waited all that time and we missed them out. Game Tech Pro also having performance issues when behind the wheel when I'm walking. Smooth as you like when I'm driving. Seem to lose FPS. I haven't experienced that Game Tech, to be honest. It's been fine for me. Yeah, Godzilla, I did miss a bus stop, I just didn't see it. Oh, all stops have been approached. Oh, there are. Crash is 9. It was not as many as I thought. You know I had more than 9 crashes. It's like you said, Dave. It's just not registered all the bumps. It's just certain ones. It must register. ETS, welcome back. Hello everyone. Do we have field of view in the game? Well, you can move your seat backwards and forwards and raise it, and if you count that as your field of view. Manchester Andy is in, or 161. How you doing, Andy? Thanks for coming back. Nice surprise the Xbox has the patch first, usually the poor relation when it comes to Aerosoft games. Like you say, they must have found a problem with the patch. It seems a bit odd, doesn't it, that it's not out at the same time as the other one. Yeah. Thanks, Godzilla. Appreciate that. Well, I think that's going to be it. It was a nice run, that one. It was longer than I thought. I didn't think it was going to take that long. I thought we'd be able to fit in, going to the repair shop, etc. But thanks for coming in with me on a Saturday night. I do appreciate it. And keep enjoying the game. Keep giving me tips on these streams. We'll be back with another one quite soon. But until then, enjoy your evening. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.